afternoon, everyone. Good, good. I want to thank everyone for coming today. And to get started, I will first introduce our speakers. And also, this month's sponsor for the program is Rosalind Lane and Betty Franklin. So I want to thank them for doing this. And we have Don Ward, Reverend Roy Price, Yvette Hutchings, and Dessie Armstrong. All of these were part of our the interviews that Betty and John Isnaga did for us as part of the exhibit we have out front. And first, what I thought I would do was I'll pass it to each of you first, and you guys tell us a little bit about yourself.
Let's start with
Well, first of all, I'd like to say good evening. Yes, and everybody. And it's a pleasure to be here and to be a part of this great event and to be recognized with these other participants on today. God has been so good and kind to all of us for a long time, and because of His goodness, we're here today. This is Black History, and Black History is usually observed in what we call the month of February, but to me, Black History is every day, and that is something that I celebrate every day, my history and those who are around me. I was born in Lone Oak, Texas. Y'all know that's right down the road, about 15 miles, and there in Lone Oak, I lived for, I guess, until 1952, I think it was, 59. We lived there with my mom and my other siblings, and there were many folk that were in Lone Oak. We started out, I was little, Dunbar Elementary School. How was you in?
Just a few minutes, and then
Okay.
we'll get into a whole bunch
Dunbar Elementary School, and there in Dunbar Elementary School, Jean Waters, who we just funeralized, and she was 97 years old, and we only had 3 teachers, Ms. Waters, Ms. Olivia G. Scales, and Ms. Hooker, Letitia Hooker. And those three ladies ran the school. Of course, Ms. Scales was the principal, and we were there at the school, and that's where I really got my idea about wanting to become a gospel singer, a gospel piano player, and so forth. Miss Waters played, Miss Scales played, and Miss Hooker played, and they, you might not could understand really what they were playing, but they played, and that gave me an incentive to want to do also the same thing. So from a child, 7 years on up, that was in my mind. I wanted to play piano, and every chance I got, you would see me just beating, and finally God gave me a little tune, and a little tune, and a little tune, and I did a little bit better and better. And I thank God that He gave me to what I received from Him up until now. No, I never have ever had any formal piano music lesson. I don't read music. Everything I do it. They call it by ear. I play by ear. I hear it, and then I can play it. And that's the way I do it. And it's all because of God. Nobody but the Lord. And I also, during that time, I became enthused about funeral directing. And funeral men, men who were morticians, people who were working at the funeral home would come have funerals in my hometown in Lone Oak, and they were so dignified and so they did so well to me, and I wanted to be that. So I asked God to let me work my way to become a funeral director. And I went to high school, 3.5 years of college, And I went to mortuary school finally. And finally got a chance to go to mortuary school by a lady by the name of Mrs. Carrie Grundy. Her husband had planned to send me to mortuary school, and just before I graduated, in fact, it was a week before I graduated, he passed away. And she said that she wasn't able to do it. She couldn't do what he had planned to do. So I said, oh, well, okay. So I had my elderly sister, my oldest sister, Jean McSwain, who passed away about 2 years ago. She lived in Los Angeles. She sent for me. She put me in school in Los Angeles. I stayed there for one quarter, and it was a very tasking job for her. So I didn't allow myself to allow her to continue on in that way. So I dropped out and came home back to Texas, went back to Jarvis College, stayed there until Miss Grundy called one day and said, God told me to call you and to send you to school. And she did. And she paid every penny. And I said, what do you want me to start paying back? She said, I don't. She said, what do you want me to start? I said, whatever you want to do, go work where you want to work. I said, I want to work with you. So I did. I started working at the Grundy Funeral Home, stayed there until the Grundy Funeral Home closed down. Left that, went to Cozine in Tarver, and that's where I am as of right now. I am a retired, I won't say retired, I'll say semi-retired. Because I don't go down there every day, but when we get a body, I go and I work then. And so I'm semi-retired, but I'm still active. I still have my license. I still am a funeral director and embalmer, as well as a teacher. I mean, it's a school, not a school teacher, but a preacher, pastor of the Christ Temple Church of God in Christ here in Greenville. The Lord blessed us, and we organized in 1975, and just a few months ago in November, I celebrated my 50th year as pastor of that church. Amen. One church, as they say, one church, God blessed me to be there for 50 years. And I thank God for the folk. One of my church members just walked in. In fact, she's my secretary. The church that God blessed me with is a great church. And I thank God for being a part of that church and a part of Greenville. And I met Sister Franklin. Sister Franklin, they even been known her a long time. I knew her father. And I'm fixing to close out on mine because I know I've been too long. But I've been knowing her father for years, but I met Sister Franklin, and because of her, I am a part of this service on today, and we thank God that He allowed folk like her and folk like all of you to make this possible for us to be able to become a part of this museum, this Arthur Murphy Museum. And we're praying that God will continue to open your hearts and your mind, because this is a day and time that we all, and I do say all, black, white, red, whatever, it doesn't matter. We are all God's children. Yes. And it takes every last one of us to make it into the kingdom of heaven. Because you got to love me, and I've got to love you. I've got to, in fact, I'm preaching this evening at 2 o'clock at the place where I live. And I'm not going to try to preach now. But at the place where I live, which is Rock Cliff Nursing Center. And on Tuesday evening, it's me and another white preacher. We alternate. So it's my turn to speak this evening at 2 o'clock. So my subject this evening is about love. God so loved the world. And because He loved the world, we've got to love each other. Amen? Amen. All right. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak and to be a part of this organization.
I'm not a minister and I'm not that much of a speaker. I'm a musician. But I will tell you the story of my life. I grew up in the town of a place called Wiggins, Mississippi. And my dad had a farm. And of course, we would harvest things down there. And the first thing he bought after we had sold some cotton was to buy a piano. And he bought a piano for us. And one of the ladies in the community, who was a teacher, taught me piano lessons starting at 11 years old.
Right.
And we were just so grateful. And you know, she only charged me 25 cents a lesson. I took it and I learned. Let's see, I started lessons in September and I played Where He Leads Me, I Will Follow at Christmas time. For the Sunday school class where I was teaching. And so she thought, they all kind of saw some interest in me, and so when I got to be in the 8th grade, one of the ladies in the community decided, she says, you know, I know the name of a school where you may go and probably get more things than what we have here. And so she said, I'm going to introduce you to another school in the area of Jackson, Mississippi. And the name of the school was called Southern Christian Institute. And as you can tell, it was a Christian school. And it started with grades 9 through through the second year of college. And so my parents were talked into letting me go up there. And believe it or not, I think my entrance fee was maybe $5. And that was all I had to pay. And they said, you just come on up here and we will work with you. And so I did, and I went up there and they would taught us really, I mean, it was just different from the public schools, and I'm not bragging, but I'm glad I went and had a chance to go. But in the mornings, we would go out and stand on the lawn of the school, and it was just really beautiful. And you would look at the sun, watch the sun come up, and you had a notebook in which you had to write down, what do you observe? What do you see? You only had 30 minutes. And so you wrote down your observations for that morning, and then you came back in and had breakfast and went to class. And so after doing that for about 4 years, and I graduated from high school, and of course, I've had the highest grade average for that year, for the whole school time that I was there. And I was really lucky because I know my mom and dad really just didn't have the money, so you had to work and show that you were really appreciating being there. And then after I finished graduation from that school in Mississippi, I came to Hawkins, Texas, to Jarvis Christian College, which is a sister school to the school where I went when I was in high school. And I got into, I became the accompanist for the choir. That was where I learned to play the organ. And of course, my music teacher was from somewhere in the Bahamas, but he was very, very, very strict. Mr. Francis, everything just had to be just so, and that's what I learned, and that's the way I learned it. But you were taught how to do things, and modulating meaning to change from one key to another, and all of those things. A lot of you probably know that already, and of course you always will have singers. Some of them can sing in one key, but you can't maybe play it in that key, or maybe it's better done in another key. Yes, so you got to be able to what you call modulating, change it. And then a lot of the cassette tapes that we would get by the choirs, the songs were done in another key. But what we had to work with, they couldn't sing it in those keys. So it was your job to change it and to get it where it was supposed to be. But I was glad that I had that experience and was able to do that. And so while I was at Jarvis, I met a young man by the name of James Hutchings.
Amen.
And of course, he too was a music major, but he had graduated 1 year ahead of me and had gone to Korea. And when he came back from Korea, he came back to get teachers. He wanted teacher certification. So he came back, and that's where we met, and we got married. And Greenville was wanting a band director at that time. And so he applied for the job, and he got the job. And in the meantime, churches all around were looking for people to actually work with their choirs. And so that's what we did. We taught, and then on weekends, we would work with choirs at different churches. And I just learned so many people because I was not a Texan, but I soon became a Texan. And so let's see, we went on, and of course we had a daughter, Dessie. She's at our house right now. And then he became a band director at the Carter High School. And I got a job as a teacher in Cattle Mills. And I was teaching the 5th and 6th grades out there. And of course, when they integrated the schools, then of course I came to Greenville, Texas, and this is where I started working as a teacher from kindergarten on all the way up to 7th and 8th graders. And then from there, of course, at the same time, I was also working with choirs. And so both of us could do that. He would direct the choir, I would play the accompaniment. And then we had a man by the name of Faith White. I don't know if you knew him, Mr. White. And he played the drums for us. And of course, and we just had so many people. We should see the pictures out there. So many people in the choir. And we had, I just really hate to talk about this incidents that happened with some of the men in our male chorus. They decided to go fishing at Lake Tawakoni. You all probably remember that. And when they came back out that Saturday, they were going to just kind of stay down till that Sunday morning. And I think they tried swimming, and we lost about 2 or 3 of our male chorus members. And it's just still so sad just yet, but I just remember them, but they were just so good. But I guess the Lord had a better job for them than we did. And of course, I was going to say we went on, and our lives have just kind of went on and on and on. And my husband passed away in 2011. And of course, I'm still bumping, so, and working with the choir. And I can't really tell you all of the things that we've done, but I enjoy it. I sure do.
Y'all trying to tell me it's my turn?
Yes, you know.
Well, as you all know that my start was back in the day. I think I was 7 years old when my dad first started me. I'm Donald Warren. I'm the musician and music director at Clark Street Christian Church. Thank God I moved on. Started me at an early age of 7 years old playing the guitar. And during those years, my dad had a gospel group. I was too little to go with them then. But thanks be to Reverend James Smith, he's dead and gone. He had this group called the Loving Five. And that's where I first got my start as a gospel musician. And during those years, I enjoyed all of it. My dad played with the Major Ash for many years, and later on they broke up. One went one way, one went another way. And my dad started a band. It was Eugene Finney, James Hutchings, and Belton Strickler, and Faith White. And so I've had music equipment around me all of my life. They bought an organ because they had a band, and they put it in the trunk of the car. They had a little Hammond organ. They put it in the back of the Lowry organ. They put it in the back of the car, and they carried it everywhere they went, you know. And so I started with Eugene Finney trying to take piano lessons. I like Rev Price. That just wasn't my cup of tea. So I've had beautiful musicians that I come up around, started with Miss Yvette Hutchings. I started playing around, and things that I could not comprehend, she heard. Miss Hutchins, I can't play this song. Will you show me how it goes? So she would take her time. She would show me. Reverend Price, my brother, we'll have to explain that some other time. My brother here, I went to him several times with stuff that I wanted to do. And I met a lot of beautiful musicians since I have started in the gospel field. Things that they knew, they were glad to teach you and to help you with those. And that's the way that I am. I try to help everybody anytime that I can. But I've had, like I said, beautiful people like Miss Hutchins, Reverend Price, Eugene Finney, Jack Hicks, Mariner Gilstrap, that I came along with. And there was another lady, it was an older lady, she played in Goodwill Baptist Church. Her name was Florine Hunter.
Florine Hunter, yeah.
She was a beautiful musician. Also Miss Irma Jean Waters, you know, she came along during that time and era. But I had a lot of musicians that I was behind because they taught me what I know today. And I think that's beautiful. If you have a talent, use it.
Yeah.
So many times we don't do this.
Yes.
You know, I know musicians right now that will not play for the church. Why you don't play? God gave you that talent.
Amen.
So you use it. So I've been really, truly blessed
Yes.
to have the musicians around me that I have. In the city of Greenville, I played at a lot of churches. Sister Mary right there at Mount Elam, we've had some good time playing together. And then Cranford Carolyn Trailer. I've been to a lot of places with her. She's taken me down the road, out of town, a long way, didn't know where I was going. But, you know, it's always good to tell people that you appreciate them while they live. Because when they're dead, they cannot hear a word. And they cannot smell the flowers. And I'm reminded of the guy that passed away. He was a preacher, well, he wasn't a preacher, he was one of the deacons at the church. And when he died, everybody was bringing the flowers and all of this. And this one lady, that she had been knowing him for a long time, walked up and put a beer can in the casket. And they asked him, why did you put that up there? Y'all put all them flowers up there and he can't smell them. So he can't drink this beer, but it's a memory. So you have to, you know, you have to have love in what you do. And I'm like Reverend Price. That's what I love to do. People call me all the time. I think people, you know, they kind of use you up sometimes. Ain't that right, Reverend Price? But,
Oh, yeah.
you have to get past that.
Yes.
Use what God has for you to use. At one time, I played 7 instruments, but I don't have enough wind anymore to play a horn, so I don't. So I stayed with my guitar, my keyboard, and my organ, and thankful, real thankful to Miss Hutchins. She let that big old Hammond B3 with me, and I still play sometimes, but my left leg don't work good anymore, so I have to have a bass. She said, boy, where'd you learn to play that bass like that? I said, listening to you. But it's people like that. People don't even teach music lessons anymore. You know, back when I was a kid, all the little girls had to learn how to play the piano in the neighborhood. I think it was Miss Dredd and there was another,
Miss Flinoff.
Miss
Miss
Flinoff.
Flinoff.
Yeah.
There were two ladies, and everybody I know in Dogtown, because my wife learned to play piano, and now she just look at them.
Ah!
But these were people that took concern
Yeah.
of young people
Yeah.
back then.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I've been driving a school bus for 41 years. And let me tell you the change. These kids today don't respect themselves, their parents, or anyone else.
That's right.
Just think, when people like this crew that sit at this table and you are gone, what is our world gonna be left to? You know, I mean, I've got kids 7 and 8 years old that cuss you out on the bus.
Yep.
And I tell them in the school district, and I hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it like this. They got rules for everybody but the kids. The principals, most of them are afraid of the school board. The school board is scared of the parents. And the kids ain't scared of nobody. So we got to make a start, y'all,
Yeah.
within ourselves. But music is my heart.
You see?
And, you know, I just wouldn't take nothing for my journey. I ain't Dessie. She said she's going to jump on me about this Dessie. You gotta hold that microphone up. There you go. You gotta hold it close to your mouth.
I'm Dessie Armstrong of Greenville, Texas. I don't play nothing. I never did learn how to play anything, but I do know music when it's right and when it's wrong. When they in the right key, when they're out of the right key. I don't know. Anyway,
Yep.
Get it, girl.
anyway, I started out where? At St. St. Paul. Well, I was in the Fallsville at first, and we moved to Greenville, so I went to school at St. Paul for a year or two, and I graduated at Bland.
Barrett.
Mary,
Barrett, Texas.
Yeah.
It was Bland School.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's where I graduated. For a year. And that's it.
How did you get involved in being called a promoter?
Oh, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
You up in
Okay.
Yeah, I worked at a private school in Richardson. With what's the man name that just died?
Johnny Mathis, wasn't it?
Yeah, is Johnny Fry? The black man?
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie Pride. Charlie Pride, right.
I worked over there with his children.
That's right.
In that school in Richardson.
Charlie Pride.
Charlie Pride.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, at the private schools. Yeah, until when I did it, then I came on to that. But anyway, at Shady Brook, name of school is Shady Brook. And then I came home. So, and then I started, I was singing with, they were singing, with a group called the group was?
Stars of Wonder. Or before then?
No, it was after then, so I
Well,
wanted to
you
quit.
might want to tell about the Stars of Wonder.
Stars
That
of
was
Wonder
your
back in
early.
the day.
Yeah. You were in your early years.
Yeah, I used to travel around with Sunset Wonder and travel, then the Stars of Wonder back in the day, but that was, well, I can't remember all that anymore.
You all right?
But anyway,
You were their manager.
yeah, but, I was trying to think, I should have wrote this down.
You doing good?
So,
sing. I got a one time in South Spring, gonna sing with them. And they told me, shut down. I started boozing. They told me to boot for them. I said, okay. Yeah, I couldn't stay on time. I couldn't, they always were beating it. I said, y'all going too fast. They said, well, you sit down. And I sit down and they told me to start to keep their group, so that's what I did. And then, after then, I'll travel around with them for the Lord. And then afterwards, and then they went out of business. And I sit down for a little while, and then I started working. Then I started to promote back in the days. And
I said, I remember a lot of them.
yeah, I know the Keys real well back in the day. And I know
Canton,
and I know
the Cantons.
the Kansas Bridgers and all them in Mississippi. And I know the Howard QCs. And I know 5 Line Boys.
Yeah.
And I know what the other group name?
Slim and the Supreme,
Oh, yeah.
many.
Yeah, I know a lot of them.
And you would get them here.
Yeah, they would come here. And one from out of
Starlight.
yeah, I know Starlight. Upstate. Oh, they used to come down here. I pray in Bethlehem Church. What's the name of that group? Women, old women, the big women, they were the big one. What?
I said, you talk about big women, I said, now, Starlight was
Oh, no, yeah.
heavy women, but they could sing.
Yeah, but this one woman to sing too and travel. What's the name of her? You did too. Name of them?
I mind it went black like you.
Yeah, I got a picture of her somewhere, buried somewhere. But anyway, I brought them to Greenwood and around, and I brought all of them back in the day, and then I brought the keynote to the auditorium, and that's where I run from Carol on to get
Yay!
And I told
My first booking agent.
And I had the day before, Ram. I let him sing, and I told Carol, I said, you get the next one, but they want to jump me. Big, what's her name? What's her name? What's her name?
I know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
Teresa.
Yeah, okay.
They were gonna jump me, cause I wouldn't put them on the phone. But go ahead and try. And my sister thing, they were living there, one of them, 2 of them, and they used to do everything. Go ahead. So anyway, I stood up. And then after then, I started bringing Carol in, and we don't say this group. What do you want to do? A couple of the group. I couldn't sing.
Generation.
Yeah, I couldn't sing a lick.
Fred Thomas, no.
Yeah, Fred.
But I know when they was out tuning and one right. And I put the Starlight, Mary, Starlight on the road. And Dessie Brown and Howard, what was his name? Spiritual, something. Spiritual. Up there, going on, Norma, June, BN. And I had Leroy Bird in the connection.
Yeah.
And then I had that boy that was Louisiana.
Shreveport.
Yeah, they done got one car ran over, killed him and everything. I thought, Lord, everybody dying with me. That's what I'm saying around. Yeah, but.
Dessie, how did you find all the groups? Or did they find you, or a combination?
Most of the time they found me, and then when I went back to out of town, I run up on them down there. And then gave me the address and everything, and I'll go from there. Yeah. What else? You don't know.
I got a question. Being on stage all the time, I'm a musician myself and a choir, or not choir director, but a music pastor. What is the biggest temptation that you guys have experienced throughout your years of playing and that? Because I know that there are, since you're in the limelight, people kind of flock to you guys. So what would you say is your biggest temptation?
What was mine here?
Everybody, he says everybody.
Y'all sitting there. I was sitting down, I think, handling the money, and if after money didn't, wasn't, with somebody else's handle, then I came in the
So that's the question for everybody.
And then they brought me in, introduced me, I was on stage a couple times, and still am.
We sit there.
Huh? Yeah, I was sitting down, yeah. Oh, my back is hurting now, I need to get out of the street. Yeah. But you want to talk? Real quiet?
Biggest temptation.
But your biggest temptation?
Biggest temptation?
Move that other microphone down.
Biggest temptation, I guess, was perceiving the mood of the people.
Yeah.
Perceiving the mood of the people and wondering if this is it. Am I singing the right song? Am I saying the right words? Am I presenting myself in a way whereby I'm going to be accepted? How many people out there looking at me go walk out, or how many are going to receive me? That's the most perceptive thing that I feel that, I'm part of. But
Well, my thing was that a lot of times my dad taught me to watch the mood of the people.
yeah.
Where there's gospel, where there's blues, where it's country and western, you have to watch the mood of the people. You can be playing a song and everybody's sitting there looking at you. And my dad would stop in the middle of a song and start another one that would spark everything. That's the same way it is about gospel. I know I played with the Alex sisters. It was 5 of them. And we went down to a little town, I'm trying to think where it was, down in East Texas. We went to a holiness church. Now most of y'all know Church of God in Christ. They jumped. Boy, we got it at Reverend Davis was with us. Reverend Davis had something funny to say all the time. We got up and started singing. He started singing first. He looked back at me, Brother Boy, we ain't gonna get nothing done here. These folks look at us like a calf at a new gate. And me sitting up on the stage, I didn't want to laugh, but it was true. Wasn't nobody live in the church but the preacher. I mean, they were just sitting there like, when are they gonna get through? Will they ever sit down? And it's disturbing. People wonder why some gospel groups break up. Little folks in little churches in little towns, you drive 100 miles to go sing, and they take up an offer of $50 and hand it to you. That wouldn't even pay for the gas in the car. We couldn't eat. So it was a struggle when you go to these little towns. And I'm thankful for all of the big groups that I was on stage with. The Canton Spiritual, the Gospel Keynotes, the Highway QCs, and even Carol Trader. That was a three. That was my girl. She played Fred Thomas, Slim Thomas, my brother, Reverend Price's son played drums, and Tyra played drums. And then there was a young man by the name of Jason. Now that young man thrilled me. He came from Los Angeles, California. He was James Allen's son.
Yeah.
That kid was tremendous. He could play in any key,
Yeah.
anytime. He could modulate it anytime, and he could tell you where he was going. Because his daddy and them sent him to all of those workshops, and he learned from some of the greats.
Right.
And he had an attitude that same way. Beautiful attitude to be a young man. That young man, every time he played, just made me cry. It wasn't because I was hurt, it was because I want to play like him. He was, Reverend Pryor could tell you, he was a beautiful musician.
Yes, he is.
You know, and people that play,
James
James Allen, I think, passed away.
Dad died.
Yeah. But he was out in California, but I hadn't saw him. And,
He's in Houston now.
Is he in Houston? But you know, there's some great musicians that come along that really inspired me. But these two right here, they're my role model. Miss Hutchings and Reverend Pryor. These are role models. And the life you live will speak for you.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Good.
I remember when, during the interview with the Clark Street, they mentioned you, Yvette, several times in their interview, so that was really cool. Yeah, I think, if I remember right, you were one of the first,
Yeah.
is it teachers or,
Yeah.
there might have been one
I
other.
think Eugene was, well, Charlie Mitchell, because he,
Mr. Mitchell.
yeah, because he played piano on Noah's Ark when he came over.
No.
He was an exceptional musician.
Yes, my God.
He was good.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
A
Yeah,
lot of
he-
good expressions we learned.
oh, yeah. And Mr. Mitchell was one that he did not bite his tongue.
That's right.
If you didn't play it right, son, quick. See me out the church so I can show you how to do that. That's not right. But he could take an old upright piano and you would think he was on the baby grand in the Grand Cathedral.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Oh,
he
wow.
did.
Yeah, he was somebody's musician.
Yes.
And I know when I first started going around Clark Street with Tommy Mitchell and Miss Hutchings, and after Mr. Mitchell passed away, I've been in Clark Street 30-something years. But when I went back to Clark Street, Miss Hutchins was still playing the organ. And she knew I didn't play in all the keys, so Mr. Hutchins bought a piano that had a transpose on it.
Thank God.
Thank God for transpose. Because Miss Hutchins could play in all of those keys, E flat, A flat, C sharp, whatever. But me and poor Reverend Pryor, we had 2 or 3 keys.
That's it.
But like she said, she had been taught. She was taught well. She learned how to read music, and that was something thrilling. It was thrilling to me. And my daddy tried to teach me, but boy, it was hard. Miss Hutchins said sometimes he could dissect a chord, and she said she got lost. But he would
Name all the parts.
Yeah, he would name all the quarters, the 9th, the 10th, and the major minor 7th, and I'd be wondering, what is he talking about? But, that he was like Miss Hutchins. He went to school at Jarvis Christian College. He majored in music, and he taught music up until probably about 4 months before he passed away. He was still trying to teach. And, when my dad passed,
Those chords.
yeah, he
You when you were playing around.
yeah, we were looking through his he had little, the little white cards you buy.
Index card.
Index cards is what I was trying to think of. When he passed away, my brother and I went in there, and we were looking through the cards and all the students that he had. But we counted up to 3,000, we couldn't count.
Wow. Oh, wow.
He had everybody.
He had everybody's little child that if their fingers didn't reach, he'd find a guitar that was small enough that they could learn to play the guitar. And I noticed when I got so tickled, and I told him, Daddy, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. He said, for what? I said, for sleeping through that little boy guitar lesson. He was taking dialysis, and when he got home, he was tired. And he had several little guitar players that were still coming to him. And he had an old chair that had wheels on it, and the house was on a level. And when he started, he would be beside the student. And he said they'd go to sleep, and that chair would roll back and forth. And I was sitting there. He said, well, son, but I tell you what, even though he was asleep, he knew exactly when 45 minutes was up. He said, okay, I'll see you next week. And so, you know, he was a thrill. He was as gentle as a lamb. You know, I mean, my dad, he had his cows, his horses, but now if you wanted to make him mad and get on the wrong side of him, you mentioned his cows, his horses, then come his family and his kids. But, I mean, he was just, I mean, Miss Hutchings can tell you, he was just, you never heard him fuss.
No.
He didn't raise his voice, but he only whooped us twice a year. And you got that second whooping, you done something very bad. But you tell God you had that first whooping. Because he was very, very stern with his children and anything that he was around. And he told you just how to rap it, and he didn't bite his tongue.
But Mama was good.
Yeah, my mama could grow something. She could take that hat and put some dirt in it and grow something out of it. I mean, Miss Hutchings, she just had a green thumb. I mean,
Yes, she did.
and she could, if she seen you with a dress on and she wanted that dress, she would go buy the material. And she'd make that dress, and then she look at her shoes, that don't match this dress, and she would cover those shoes with what she had left of material. Miss Hutchings, there's been many times she had the same color shoes with her dress. You know, but she could make anything, crochet, cook, sew, anything. I had a good family, and I love my mom and dad. I tell the world, I had two of the best. But they helped me. She took my saxophone one time, I was in the band. Mr. Hutchings was mad, but I didn't pass my grades. Mama started no pass, no play in 1967. She took that saxophone, she stuck it up under that bed, she said, you better not touch it. When I got my grades up, she pulled it out, she said, now you can go back and play. But parents like that made this world a better place.
That's true, that's true.
We got kids raising kids now. We have no more parents. Some kids were raised by their grandparents. And that was probably the best thing for them because mom and daddy didn't care. They was out the street, they was gone. You know. But people, we got to get back and get our kids back up. We don't. We lose. We got to lose them back.
I am curious, how many out here had his dad, TJ, as your music teacher? Anybody? No? I was curious, I was wondering if anybody had.
I don't think anybody had, that I see had.
No. Let me add something to it. Back in the 40s, Armstrong might have brought them in, but they used to bring a group in like the Fish Jubilee singer. Fish University used to come through at the auditorium.
Wow,
And,
that was amazing.
They used to have I never forget this lady's sister, Rosetta Thorpe.
Yeah.
Sister Rosetta Thorpe, which Armstrong might have brought her in.
Yeah.
She turned out the auditorium.
She was something else.
She was getting funny that Mike with that guitar, or she was better than B.B. King.
Yeah.
But she was spiritual. Sister Marie Knight. And they would just come through the soul church. Yeah, all that. That Greenville was a hub for gospel music. And at the churches, most of the pastors, they would preach at 11 o'clock service. Night service, they would have a group from Dallas singing, a spiritual, a quartet from somewhere else, singing for the night service. Greenville was a hub for spiritual music. That's in the 40s.
That was great. Thank you for that.
I wanted to ask a question also about my uncle that's deceased, Reverend Ronald Davis. Because I was told that the way he played, it was unbelievable.
Good point. Reverend Davis, I don't care, he was another one that was a ear player. He played by ear. But if you started off at H flat, he would find it. That's one thing I love about Reverend Davis. It didn't make no difference what key it was. He would find it. And he played it in his style, but he was gonna play that song so it would help you.
I want to add to that because I heard a lot of the singers come up that would tell the piano player, catch up with me. And I think that is such a good talent. I know they told you that as well.
Well, I know one, Miss Dosa Sanders, when she used to sing, I said, Miss Dosa just started. Now I'll find you somewhere about the third, fourth key, I'll find it. But like Reverend Price and I, we don't play in all the keys. But thank God for transposing.
Yeah.
That it helped us to maneuver around. It don't sound in the right key to her sometimes, but anyway. But it helped us to follow people that don't really know how to sing.
That's me.
Yeah.
They start off in F and end up in H flat. You know, I mean, and then some people, I just quit because I got tired of transposing. You can't keep up with them, timing is bad, and then they can't sing start. I hate to say it, but I can tell the truth. You know, we want to tell about the church.
But I know when you're saying,
You
I
know.
don't even try.
Like this says she know when it's right, but she can't sing. And then like I tell people all the time, don't worry, when you sing a solo, have y'all ever seen me sing a solo?
No.
But I have certain songs that I can sing and play. You know, but Reverend Price, a lot of times he'll go somewhere and he'll see me. I'm going to sing well, if I know the song, I'll play for it. You know. And one of the songs that he does, oh yes, I'm one of them today.
Yeah.
That's the theme song.
Yes.
That's his theme song.
What is y'all's favorite song to play? Everybody's got that one song.
They go to.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite tunes, I guess I got it from my aunts. Because on my dad's side, and I didn't understand this, all of my aunts played the piano, but they went to Church of Christ. You know, they don't have piano in Church of Christ, but every one of them can play. And I didn't understand that, you know. But one of my favorite hymns is Blessed Assurance, Jesus is mine. And there's one that Carolyn sang, Yes, God is real. And those songs bring tears to my eyes. Because it's from way back. And Miss Louise Daniel used to play one, and I used to hate to hear her play it, but it was a song called Trust and Obey.
Yes.
It was she had some beautiful hymns that she played back then. She played them, and the key was written in the book. You moved the book, the song was over with. But, you know, and me, if you put a book up there, by the time I got through reading it, you'd be through a church, evening service, and be ready to start Sunday school the next Sunday. So, you know, I'm like very proud. I'll find out as Miss Hutchings say, I'll find the melody, and I'll put something around it. You know.
Reverend Price,
Yeah.
your favorite song to sing?
Well, the one they was talking about a few minutes ago, I'm one of them today, that would be my favorite. If I had to choose one, but I like them all. But that would be the one right there if I was gonna just say a particular one. How I came to love thee. One of them, I'm one of them today. Christian today. Same God today. That's it.
And you ladies?
I love Amazing Grace.
I don't sing a lick.
Amazing Grace.
Miss Hudson, I know you had told me you had a master's in music, and classical music. Can you tell us more about your training?
Oh, well, it starts with each school that you go to, you have but they have a program, a group of songs. A group of songs that you, not a group of songs, but a group of studies that you had to pass to. And lots and lots and lots of theory. Now, theory meaning writing the notes and adding the notes to the chords and all of that type of thing. And you had to learn all of the chords, just everything there is to know about music. And of course, you learn it, but unless you work in a place where you can use those skills, you don't always keep them. Keep them, and you can be down to the key of C, key of F for everything. But I try not to be that boring. But it's one of those things you have to practice the skills in order to be able to do it. And work with singers who are able to sing in those particular keys that you are playing in, or that the songs are playing in, or that you can transpose to. So there are a lot of things that go along with it. It just depends on where you're working.
Oh, okay. I know you told me the story about you played Beethoven at the hall, at one of the halls at one of the college. Would you expand on that?
Yeah, well, Beethoven's composer. And so Beethoven would be the songs that he wrote when he was composing the songs. And if you've ever had piano lessons and other things, and we have books written by him, and this is what you had to learn if you were going to pass certain courses and so forth and so on. It's nice to know that depends on where you're working, because you may not always have to use something that, those skills. So it's just good to know it all.
Yes.
Whether you use it all or not, but know it all. And practice that you don't use for a while. And that just helps, keeps the brain. I don't know. I'm afraid to go. But it's just one of those things. You keep working with it, it will stay there, you won't lose it.
And I know you still have joy because you still play.
Well, yeah. We don't, I enjoy it, but the group does not. You have to depend upon your group, which we do. It's just like in school, if they can't read, you don't give them a big book to read. You find something that's in that level. And so you do the same thing with music.
Oh, okay.
At least I do.
I know some of you had mentioned that one of your teachers was Miss Scales. Something a little bit off topic, but something I'm looking for is a photo of her. I don't have one, and there's not one online. So if anybody has any ideas where I can find a photo of her, let me know.
Her son may have one.
Yeah, her son, he's a pastor in Dallas, I think I can.
Yeah,
If you
I know some of my
awesome.
grandchildren.
You do?
Because we're covering her in one of my exhibits,
Okay.
and because she has fascinating history of herself, and I could not find a good photo.
Julius.
Yeah, he's still living, isn't he?
Julius is still living.
Oh, yeah, he lives in Wolf
Yeah,
City.
he lives in Wolf City.
And the granddaughter's 2 daughters.
Yeah, because I saw them here not too long ago. Julius was he's kind of feeble, getting around, but one of his daughters was helping him with his bank accounts and stuff. But he still lives up in Wolf City in her house, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, if one of you guys don't mind getting in contact with them, I'll get you my,
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
okay, cool, awesome. Sorry about that. All right, cool. Any other questions?
I have a question for Reverend Price before we end. I know that back in the, I guess it was 80s, he had the mass choir, and the children loved, the young children loved the mass choir. Could you expand a little bit on the mass choir and how you got the choirs going?
Well, yeah, I'll make this quick.
Make it quick.
Sure.
Yeah, make it quick.
But I was a member of the Greater Rose Sharon, but it's greater now. I was a member of Rose Sharon Church of God in Christ. And there being a member of the, well, Zoe was there, and of course she played when she was there, but she played for other churches also. sometimes she wasn't there. But I played for the youth choir. And we had maybe about 5, 6, 7, 8 young people that were there. Well, these young people would go out and tell other young people, oh, we got a choir, we got a choir, we got a choir. And we can sing. And they would invite other churches, and end up had almost 100 voices because of their, reaching out to other young people. They didn't belong to that church, but they would come and sing whatever we'd ever sing. And I think Sister Tidwell, her husband belonged to New Hope, and her daughters belonged to New Hope with him, but she was a member of Rose Sharon. But they came to Rose Sharon to sing, and that's the way it was. We gathered up youth all around, and to be, organize that choir. And we would go from church to church and even out of town. People heard about us to sing until I was unctioned by God to organize my own church. When I did, the choir disbanded. But that's how it got started, and that's how we kept it going.
Thank you.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Is it somebody
Betty?
else?
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have a question, but I have a couple of comments. I have a personal friendship and relationship with everybody that's up there. Dessie Armstrong was my very first booking agent. She went with us everywhere that the group went. Dessie went. In fact, she was the one that stayed awake because we would all go to sleep. So she had the money, and she would support us 150%. So Dessie, I thank you so much for that, because she is the one that got me on the road, and I appreciate you for that. I never will ever forget it. And the sister Yvette, I loved her disposition. I would see her on the keyboard, just sitting there, and she would always be so, oh my God, erect. She would just be there, and she's so beautiful. And then I don't think she's ever had an enemy in her life. I've never been around. I've been around all her life, but I don't think she's ever had an enemy. And I used to love when people would compare me to her and go, "Are y'all kin? Because y'all both got dimples." So I love that. And then Reverend Price, thank you so much for allowing me to practice in your church so many times. You allowed us to practice in your church. Don Ward, I would wake him up at 7 o'clock in the morning. His family would wake up and let my group come into their den every Saturday, the Saturday mornings that we were off. Let us come into the den and practice, and Don would answer the door, or his wife, and they would say, "Come on in," and they go back to bed. So they trusted us that much. So I just wanted to offer. I just wanted to offer a personal thank you to each and every one of you all, because you all have been so instrumental in my ministry. God bless you.
Her dad and her brother, I love it, Mr. Cranford and you know what I'm talking about.
You know,
Cute.
Yeah.
Cute trick. I got to tell this because it's been funny to me ever since it happened. Q passed away, and Carolyn asked us all would we come and play for Q's funeral. Well, it was in Bethlehem. My brother was playing, Betty Joe was playing, and I can't remember who was playing drums. But anyway, when the whole thing was over, we came outside. Carolyn said, "I want to thank y'all for all that you've done. I really do appreciate it." She got a crazy sister. Ernestine said, "Yeah, we thank you." And then she looked at Carol, "What do you do?" That has stuck with me forever, because Ernestine never did practice smile. She said, "Yeah, we really do appreciate it. What did you do?" So, every time I see Carol, I think about that. I get tickled. But Q was one of my, he also was a great singer too. And Mr. Clayman Flinthall, back in the days, he had a gospel group that was here around the area of Greenville. And they didn't use no microphone, but you could hear them sing.